All right. Quick lunch, back at it. Just gonna go straight in. Shit. At least my stream deck's working, which is good. On the old desktop stream. So you can't see the bottom corner. I changed the layout from being kind of condensed. I did this last time though, but I literally haven't touched it since I was on last. So I was just trying to get this thing working. I was thinking about it. I do think getting at least one clip done today is definitely what I want to try and get done. So that is my objective for today. So gonna be a bit of noodling, gonna start getting to like all the tweening and the speed graphs and stuff like that, getting some of the details right. So yeah, just gonna work on getting this thing sort of in and out, figured out. For this, I just need to, so I need to start figuring out how to use this Motion 3 tool properly. The interface is a little, it's pretty minimal in terms of like how it's being represented, but there's a lot of things you can do about this or with this. Yeah, all these different tools. I don't even know where to begin with them all. I need to like spend some time. It gives you like tooltips. Manipulate property values with field overlap, cloth. Find pins for cloth-like movement. I don't know. I think it gets into a lot of like actually like character animation, which I don't really do any of. So just more of like these kind of useful productivity type tools: clone, break, grab. Yeah, I've heard it's very useful. I don't know from firsthand experience yet. So this scale, where is the out? The out's right here. We'll do, oh, I adjusted the scale before. I didn't know that. So I want this to 0. Let's just start tweening. I think the general time, it's there for like the taming, the frames. It's all there. So getting into some of the easing is not as scary as I think it would be before. So this is where it gets a little weird, where I did the easing and now I'm duplicating and then keyframe reversing. So I just want to check. This is where you can, I don't know why, sometimes you get like ghosting. You get like this ghost movement where it's trying to tween between the 2 points and it just kind of like, see it just kind of like wobble 1 pixel and it's really annoying. So thankfully I don't have to deal with that too much. So that is coming together. But yeah, you can see that move. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Because it's, I thought it was better than it is, but it's really quite unfortunate. I think I should, I want to worry about that later. I think one of the things I want to work on is the left rail nav. I really should finish states for this. I mean, free scroll, this is the only time. So the free scroll, what comes back in, it's happening a little too fast, which is right here. We can go ahead and move that to there. So that's the benefit of using like 10 keyframes for a lot of duration, or using 10s. Think of everything in like 10s and 5s. So 10 gets me down the timeline and lets me advance things at a decent clip. Um, so that allows for just like automatic alignment. And so that's what is it? It's option. So option arrow with keyframe selected will move it 1 frame. Option shift moves it 10 frames. Excuse me. So I can just move things down by 10, or if I know I want to cut it in half, um, I just like do 5, and then I know it's happening right at the midpoint of that animation. Or if I do 20, then I know if I just do 10, that's halfway. So it's kind of easy to get these alignments. That's kind of like how I like to do everything. Everything based off of relative units. It helps create kind of like this global proportion, whether or not it's actually noticeable or not. The intent is there. And it may be a bunch of bullshit, I don't know, but I think it works in my head. So I've got this revealed, and what happens next? I'm gonna put music back on. I don't think I got through. I don't think I listened to the whole album. Let me make sure I'm just not broadcasting it. Nope, I think I'm good. It's got the rain. Probably turn up a little bit. Pretty quiet. I think I turned it down on accident. Yeah, that's almost probably not even audible. Yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and put this album on. Again, wish I could broadcast, but I can't. So free scroll. So that's good. So here's the next move. I just gotta flag all these. This is kind of the slow grind of this sort of stuff. Charge my phone. Oh. So then this needs to bad position, or no, position on this. Wait, doesn't move this. Oh, that's right, it goes out. Then it comes back. And right here, out of position. Where does it stop? It's right here. Here's one. What? Oh, I tried to draw a random shape for Matt. So this is in. Oops. No, let's just say start. Yeah, this is just my OCD. I could probably do it with shorthand of some sort. Oh, I need the position here. Sweet. So that means I just need to do the same for this. Yeah, this new Nas album's not bad so far. I thought he lost it for a good while there. I don't know if he was just working with the wrong producers or he just wasn't into it. I don't know. And clearly won album of the year last year. Clearly he's got his shit together. Although I do think Freddie Gibbs, Madlib should have won, but that's a different story. Wait, so this is another start. Did I time this wrong? No, this is the stop. This is another start. I think I should just. Oh, I should use the shorthand. Maybe scroll start. Or no, that's the same. Just because of the overlap, I can limit it. But I just can't type. It's Friday. Yeah, damn, this is solid. Again, I probably won't bother you guys with doing this on stream. This is not something I need to bore you guys with. Oh no. Why can't I expand the bounds of this? That's. Oh. Huh. Oh no, I hit escape. That's why it's not there. I was like, I didn't think I did a bounding box. Oh, I keep going down off the screen. Oh, I know I gotta do this as well. What the hell is going on? There we go. Almost. This is where I need to start being better about color coordination. Nope. I'm choosing like the most tangential color palettes. Oh, what was that? Huh. Yeah, this position is not right, clearly. Yeah, yeah. This one's gonna be interesting. I'm just gonna have to do like individual like ticks. Oh, Eminem, I just can't do it. I love it. EPMD's on track with Nas, but can't handle Eminem. AC time. This thing is frying. Oh yeah. PC's for Max cooking. All right. Yeah, let me get the cursors in here. I think that's a good step. Is it pointer.png? Is that what I have? I've done this like a million times. Where did that cursor pointer? So position. Let's start in the center and oop, got it. Kind of a cop out, but I don't know how to start. Why is that weird? So to do cursor pointers, I always just drag these to be. Usually you can kind of create more of like an organic path. I don't know why I can't modify this point. Know what this is? Yeah, it is. You kind of just extend these pretty long and you kind of get like a natural looking move. So I think it's going to be half that. It's a little too much of a bump. This is too much. People tend to go in a pretty straight line. So then it goes down. And no, this is actually 2. Go. This might be kind of fast. Then it's got to go here. And like right here. It goes down 1, down 3. Huh. Why is that happening? Fix it. Same thing. Just want to add like a little bit of organic for the feel to it. Although I don't know where these. Yeah, at this size, like I don't know where. Yeah, I don't know where like the grabbing points are for the lines. Okay. Oh, it's right there. Just like a little bit of variability, although it's kind of a hard bend. It's all right. Actually, this needs to go down to 6. I can't add. Yeah, I'm worried about the timing. Just feels fast. And so on the off, just right here, I know this cursor's it's gotta move off. You have to think there's gonna be a slight delay too, so it should be just ahead of the movements on here. So you can see like it's at 5 seconds exactly is when the transition's happening. And you want to think like you'd instill a little delay. Or no, yeah, need a click. Okay. I have to remake the click animation again. I've done this so many times too. I need to make a library of all of these like reuse components and like bringing attention to the clicks is definitely one of them. Oh God, Vietnamese coffee. I won't sleep for a week. if I can just import in from another. Probably could. I'll just remake it. No, not a mask. All right, so I just got to do this real fast. Definitely want a stroke. Fill should be gradient. Radial gradient. Edit gradient. Right. Why is it doing this? Yeah, location 50, opacity 0, opacity 100, location 0. It's I don't know if I did a gradient. Stroke, we can just do this. 2 pixels. Opacity. I think it's about 80 is what I typically do. Where is it? Whatever, I'll just do a fill. Oh, the gradient's just not working. I don't know. It's really strange. I've done this so many times. I don't know why it's not working now. If I just reverse it real fast. Non-zero info. Uh, you know, doesn't make sense, but that's okay. I'll just start from the beginning. So scale 0, scale percent. It's pretty big, maybe 75. I guess I didn't add a keyframe before. Yeah. So then all you have to do is just do a little offset on opacity. So start with 0. Just to kind of give it like a pulse. The fill's already at an opacity, so I can just make this easy. There we go. I always thought I did like an inner gradient. I don't know why there's no stroke though. Maybe I don't need it. So if I duplicate it, and then I can create a little offset with like the overlap. So I can do 100, so it gets just a little bit bigger. Can't remember if it's like bigger first or yeah. It's, you know, it's not the greatest, but it's good enough for me. All I'm really trying to do is just drive attention to what's going on. Then we'll just pre-compose. Like indicator. Where is it? Moments. So then, whenever I have moments of click moments, of course, underneath the cursor. So it's like right here. Probably start it a little early. Kind of cheated ahead a little bit. Yeah, that move should be a little bit later. Yeah, it's like trying to get the hell out of there real quick. It shouldn't do. Doesn't even have to. The other thing is showing the scroll. Oh, how did you... What are you doing there? That's rude. $5.30. Yo, Arjun. What's good, man? Glad to see you're back on the AE grind. The Studio Dunbar and other references helped me refine and move forward with some interesting motion concepts for a client project, which I'm stoked for. Nice, man. Stoked to hear. Yeah, those are some great references those guys came up with. I'd never heard of Studio Dunbar before somehow. Like, I mean, I could say somehow, but I definitely know how. I don't get out as much as I should. But yeah, those were, I mean, really appreciate like once you get into like the grind, as you say, of doing the motion and kind of everything it entails, like for people to set up motion systems in the way they do for different brands, like it's no joke. It's a heavy lift. But yeah, I'm really trying to just get this done. I just woke up yesterday in like a weird mood. I was like, I haven't gotten anything done in a long time. And by done, I just mean like I don't know. I've been fucking around my website for so long. This has been something I've been chipping away at. And like I know how long it takes to do the like the motion for this. So I just like why not get started? This is gonna be the interesting one. Yeah, that's this move too is just I wonder if there's a way to I know I didn't want to move the anchor point of the position null, but I may need to just like temporarily move it up. To 0, 0 is like where it always should be. Like right here, if I just like one frame before. I can just put this to is. So, yeah, this is gonna take a little like a little bit of a think on. Yeah. Do I move the anchor position instead of do the move? I don't know. I just like I've had such a bad time moving something as I'm moving the anchor point and as I'm changing the scale. Like the transform origins just like shifting, it just becomes really wonky. So I'm trying to avoid that. My work definitely won't be as good as this because of my skill set and limited scope, but I was able to find a good concept, which is fairly easy to animate. I mean, being able to like make systems that are like within the realm of possibility from a production standpoint, execution standpoint, like super important, man. So that's great you're able to find something. Um, Also based on super solid rationale, which is great to sell the idea to the client on. Yep, there you go. Like if you can bring it back to like as long as it's not like something that's just kind of pulled out of thin air. Sometimes there's projects where you can do that, but if you're trying to develop like a brand wide system, it becomes a lot easier to sell in if you have like a good reason for it. Because if it comes down to subjective matter, you're just as likely to lose that as you are win that. Yeah, that moves so bad. Oh, this move sucks. I thought I just did this. I did. What? I'm so. What is going on? Hmm. I don't. I've never seen those red and green values before. Oh, that's because it's. That's because it's happening on the scale node. Or no, not the position. This should slow it down a little bit, so it's like kind of a snappier, slower out. Oh, it happens so fast. I'm like mentally just like retiming this already is going to be a big lift. Hopefully I don't have to. I'm already seeing some things that are kind of worrisome. I don't think that's perfectly synced up. The move's bad. Too much scroll in the list. It's not going that fast. That transition in and out is pretty quick. The other problem is like the cursor's going to change, I think, from like a traditional grabber most of the time. Um, Starting to think I'm doing too much. I should just have each of the scroll options individual versus all together. With the option to cut them together at the end. Because then if I need to retime one of them, I don't have to retime all of them and start dragging like thousands of, not thousands, slightly dramatic. A lot of key points. So I do think I'm going to do that. I'm going to call this for A. Gallery hover, duplicate, free scroll. I'll start with that. No, I lied. Free scroll, and then this will be click and drag. So it shouldn't be too much rework. I just see some timing things already that are starting to flare up. So I have all these. I just have to be careful with the what's it called? The position marker. I just have to make it separate copies for each one so the timings don't get all messed up. This will be gallery nav. I thought I like heard someone making some interesting noises. Just the song. This Nas album's pretty solid. All right, so if I'm gonna split each of these, so I have all the copies made. So now if I start with the first gallery hover, I should be good. Yes, this is gallery nav. Okay, so that's good. So from here, I can split all these. What is this? Oh, that's the grid view. That'll be easy to do. I didn't really do much for that. So now I feel less pressure when it comes to like if I need to retime this, because I'm seeing it feels quick, like in some of the first initial, like as I'm putting the cursor onto the gallery nav, it just feels abrupt. So that cursor move still sucks. Got more wobbly somehow. Yep. That first move, positional, too quick. So look at all these extra keyframes. Now I can just delete all these. Gives me a little anxiety, but I'm gonna go ahead and save a copy of this. Just so I have the old one, you know, you never know. After Effects is, look at MoGraph memes if you ever want to see what what After Effects is capable of. Some of the error states are just wild. So that happens. I almost think like there should be a pause. Shit. Shit. Probably gonna wobble. Didn't wobble. That's when it goes to the second image. Give it a little more time. It is always interesting, like, I don't know, when you start roughing things out and storyboarding it, I almost never get it right. And I always am on like, but I'm always wrong on both ends of the spectrum. Which, yeah, if you think about that statement, that's really stupid. But sometimes I'm like way too quick with it. Sometimes I'm way too slow with it. Like the load in initially in what's it called? Like how far off this initial load in was in terms of timing. Kind of wild. Like this is 100% faster. I thought it was right in the moment. Now everything I'm doing in here just feels spastic. Like it's too quick. So this gives it at least a moment. So now it holds. So I actually need a shift from here. So this gallery nav at this point. Yeah, this position. This needs to, oh, not there. It's not gonna be as dramatic. It's just kind of like 1 to 2. Oh, oh. I'm gonna close that for now. Oh, this progressive. So it holds from here to here. This is the next move. I don't think these markers even make any more sense. This is gonna take a little bit of a mind fuck to figure out. But it's already moving here. I want it to hold. Yep. What does it find out? What position is the end of the hold? And then it moves again. So at this point, position. And so this is also wrong because this needs to be, so if I'm using the gallery nav, it's always going to resolve in a dead center state. It's about right there. Yeah. So basically when I did it the first time, I didn't really have enough of a hold between these different states. Yeah, so that scale is happening too fast. And so this, like, if I'm doing this, like, each time I'm pushing things down, I'm gonna have to, like, you see all these down here, like, it's just going to become this constant game of like pushing and pulling. Whereas if I just isolate it, um, I can just control a little bit easier, and then I can just kind of worry free push things. I mean, there's always implications when you start pushing things around the timeline, but it's just mitigated quite a bit. So I'm just going to try and get the cursor correct now. So this move to here. So what's good about that, like I almost didn't like it at first, but it's kind of like a natural movement where if people are using it, they're never really going to stop. They're going to kind of like hover over it, see the interaction, kind of like slowly move. But from here to here, this is kind of an important move. Look at all these markers. I don't think I have anything over 7, so I should just get rid of. This is just giving me anxiety looking at that. I almost feel like it should stay a little bit longer. This is just a little low. I like the movement still, but I think it has to stay on the same active marker, the same active grid element. But the second it moves, again, that's when the next position has to shift. But it's kind of not doing that. It's holding. This needs to hold to here. Nope. I don't know why my brain's just short-circuiting with this. This is right. There's a first move here. What? Move from here to here. No, that's right. It's just there's a... I've been staring at this. And I'm just... Yeah. I'm not gonna make excuses for myself. I'm gonna figure this out. Hover over, shows up. Move down 1. And it should shift. But it shouldn't even do that. I'll get rid of that. I have to like retime this whole thing. All that's just shifting, it's just making it confusing. The speed graph, so it's always kind of moving, which I need a hold in between. And what kills me is this progressive resolution. Like it just kills my ability to see. What's better now, so I can see it. I can just hold till 3. Give it a full second. So this position. Girlfriend's laughing at me from the other room. I'm guessing she could hear the stupidity that's happening. Yeah, so it hovers here. This is the transition duration to there. hold still here. So here it needs to be at 5. A slight delay. Oh, I don't know if you heard it. Apparently there's a car blasting Lizzo drove by. I don't know shit. You heard it? You're one of the lucky ones, I guess. So this is 2. Let's get this a little bit off. And this is a little bit off. Let's see the position. I don't know if that's number 5 or not. I think it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's actually this one. Go ahead and hold it there. Have the click register. Hold it, and then it'll just... So I want to show that you can still click, but it's going to, like, you click resolve, and it's still, like, the hover is going to become inactive at that position. Yep. All right, it's getting there. So I just know that some of these timings of the expansions and everything and the rolls of the, like, that's correct. I think I fixed that one. But from here, I'm just gonna redo all of them. So this is here. Hold this. That's on a hold. Apparently there's a ton of holds and nothing happens. That's interesting to me. You'd think this needs to go to 5. Yeah, ooh, that's good. Crazy. It stays at 5. This is the start. Should have that right. And 5. Oh, let's go ahead and test it. I think just the cursor click happens a little, the cursor move. Joke's on me, I'm actually on 6. What is Motion 3? My understanding is it's a super useful plugin. I just got it. I haven't really spent a lot of time using it. There's all sorts of things you can do with it. I don't really understand. There was one thing I was using I don't remember what it was. Like some of these warp trim, text break, like kind of makes sense. The flip vertical, flip horizontal. A lot of this is like just quick access. Some of these are like deep tools that sit within here. Some of these in terms of like creating nulls, doing some easing curves. So you can just quickly. I don't know if it does it through like traditional easing. I mean, let's find out. Let's do. Yeah, so it does it. I think you can drag. Ooh. But you can't undo it apparently. Yeah, so that's interesting. Scale null. Oh, that's because it's on the scale. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's great. I don't know what I did now. Okay, so it's back. Um, yeah, my understanding, like in terms of doing a lot of like animation, it's really helpful. All I've used it for so far is the corner pinning. Um, Fast mode. I don't. So I really need to dig into it. Um, but yeah, everyone I saw that talked about like great animation plugins said this is kind of like the one of the better ones. So I wouldn't take my word for it. I feel like I need a good plugin to easily replicate type animations. Yeah, that'd be helpful for sure. I don't have anything like that. I don't know how extensive you're going with the type animations. Sometimes those can be really tedious. But yeah, it was nice, like with Matt Austin, the guy who came in early and helped me with um, some of the struggles I was having with like the half pixels and stuff like that. He does a lot of super. He's like all about like optimization and streamlining things. Um, so he would probably be the best person to ask about that, but I don't think he's here right now. I think he had all he could stomach of my. He gets enough of my stupidity. He doesn't need any more of it. Ooh, what was that move? Oh, so this scale null. This is the one that shouldn't be here. Yeah, this one. Get it out of here. What this position null is. I've actually got to go one more image, which is good because I don't really like that image to resolve on. It's kind of boring. I'm thinking about like comping purposes. And 7,000 seems like a nice centered number. Um, yeah, I don't know if there's any other great plugins. I know there are. The only other one I got, I guess it's actually an effect. It's not really plugins. That doesn't. But some of the effects and stuff you can get, I can't remember what the site was that I got it from. That's how I do all my, what's it called? All the like the load in for the stream and stuff like this. This is all just like a bunch of scripts and stuff like that. So I'm like just diving in. I've been away from After Effects for a long time. All I've ever really used it for was just like animating UI, kind of like this. But I feel like it's so much more you can do with if you want to be more expressive and kind of make up for the fact that I don't have what's it called? I don't have like C4D or anything, or I have Blender, but it's not quite there yet. Or like any sort of like generative art type stuff. Let's see. Just feels there's no glide to it. I mean there is, but it doesn't feel like it. That feels better, but still not great. Yeah, so if you find anything, I'd definitely be curious. I'll share anything I find. I think, yeah, the Motion 3, just from my like preliminary searches, was supposedly really good. So just chugging right now. Ooh, ooh, ooh. See, look at this. Oh, that's wild. It's relative to what's in the window. These should be linear. What? How is there still vertical if there's no interpolation? Is it this fucking thing? What? Oh my god. I don't know what that's about. I'm gonna delete that. Why is this being weird, man? Yeah, position's not right. Love to see it. Fine. There we go. It's always an explanation. Getting there. So I think just having these like succinct videos, it's something that I can just loop and just like have a, it's like gallery nav. Go to the next one. Loops the scroll nav. This is still bothering me. Nobody takes that sort of a line. The click was off. Still a little slow. Yep. Okay. So the other thing is after this click right here, this Gallery nav. I have to create so many instances of all of these as pre-comps. It's all right. Gallery nav, hover. Source name. Yeah. Oh. View options. So this is what I want to call hover. Some complex animations use JavaScript code with expressions in After Effects. Have an AE plus JS skill set would be sick. Yeah, so that's what Matt Austin, the guy who was in earlier. I know I keep it's like keep bringing up his name, but this is absolutely his world, and so he loves to do everything like super programmatically, where everything's written, not everything, like everything he can is he'll create all these conditions using expressions to calculate position. Like so, if something else moves to a certain position, it reacts at like a percentage of that, and it's just like he creates these like apparently he spends the bulk of his time doing like prep work. Put this on. This is a lot of time to be able to like, if you know how you want things to move, to write the expressions for it. Um, and you can take it all sorts of levels. I don't know how far he takes it. He takes it mostly in terms of like moving things together and calculating opacities. And he did something. Let's see. Still on here or not? He's got to be Mr. Matt Austin. So like this sort of rotation is like using global coordinates to drive an individual shape layer size and opacity. So using global coordinates, like that's how the scale shifts happen. So it'll calculate based on its global positioning, it'll adjust the size and then it'll adjust its opacity. So um, I don't know. It's pretty wild. Like this is all done in code. And so um, this is way, 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 way above my head. But it would be cool just doing like this sort of like programmatic development, or not development, animation. Guess he's got into fractals for a little bit. Soothing and natural. But like everything he does is like really subtle in terms of like there's a little bounce. Like if you want like refined motion, like this is the guy. So he does a lot of product stuff at the old Google. So he's got to be pretty buttoned up with all his motion stuff. So this gallery nav hover has this fade out opacity, which I don't want. I should duplicate this. Gallery nav, scroll, free scroll. I can just delete some of this stuff. Keep this tidy. I think the last thing is really, I got to do an active state for this. Um, actually, no, I'm dumb. I do need that fade out that I just deleted. But where is the hover on? Hover on's here. Opacity. So at this point, I can't type. It's remarkable. So it's gonna fade out, and the idea is that there's gonna be like an active state that shows up for this. I'll probably want to. Just gonna make it here. I'd made it in Sketch, but I think just recreating it here. The idea is that it's gonna basically expand out from these, from like the grid marker outline. If that makes sense. We want this to be 25, 20. Position. Three, 270. Almost has a sharp edge. So close. I'm gonna make this a different color just so I can track it. So with this hover on, so this is the only thing I've really used this plugin for is like setting the anchor points. You can lock it to the top center, bottom left. In theory, I really think this is going to be a powerful plugin once I really learn how to apply it. Click the apply or option. Option click to also align to center. No, why did you have multiple alignments? I'm just not even thinking about it. So just gonna do a slight scale shift. On the Y, do the 80-20. It doesn't feel great. I don't like that ease at all. It's kind of weird. If you need a good type animation plugin, check out. So I think AE Scripts is the site I was trying to think of earlier. I think that's where I got Motion 3. Interesting. Dave, you use this for some of your type animations? I'm assuming if you're recommending it, or maybe you just heard about it. Text Evo. Oh, damn. I was wondering about that, like what sort of configuration you have. Yeah, that's the thing. Like some of these videos that promote these plugins, they're great developers and they make powerful tools, but they don't know how to really use it in any sort of like refined way or a way that like really makes it sell itself all that well. I have to check this out and add this to other bookmarks. That's right. I hover over the second one then. Might be 8. Is this is at, let's just mark like what the 002 and 006. But there was a way to retain the fill. Hmm. Yeah, it's definitely 8, 7. Oh, 7. I remember it being 6 at one point. It's just like, I don't think anyone can read that. So what I can do is I can just create a very replicatable system of just like ins and outs and just modify the text for each. This is where it goes to 2 and then it transitions to 6. So there's a lot that has to happen between here and there. Um, the only problem is I have to move the anchor point, which I'm not crazy about doing. Then I also have to move position to offset it. But no, I'm doing this wrong. Um, oh, guys, just talking about the type animation. 2. You see this plugin in action. It doesn't look like shit.
On iescript.com, and the price is up to you. So be fair to the guy and the team who's working behind it, and it's very appearing. And you see that if you roll over on an icon, it's explained, so no worries. And I'm gonna go directly and select the title and hit the plus button. And I see that on the playhead time, you have the keyframes already added. So I'm gonna hit the play button. It doesn't do anything. That's totally normal because I need to change something in order for the plugin to understand what is the animation. So I'm gonna open the transform and I'm gonna go to position. I'm gonna add maybe 80 pixel on Y, and I see that already it's changing. And if I hit the play button, I have a nice animation. So what it does is the
What?
plugin automatically detects letters, so it's staggering the effect between the letters. And if I change the delay um, value here and I hit
Oh,
0.5,
shit, this is
I
nice.
notice that the delay is way shorter. So you can change the animation like this, and also you notice that here the keyframes there is a easing curve. So you can either change this and or this, and both are gonna affect your animation. So I'm gonna also add opacity and hit the 0 button, and I see that here now I have a nice animation. So let's say I like this animation, and I'm gonna just um, copy this animation by hitting this button, and I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna hit the paste effect. So I'm gonna just, this is so much information, so I'm gonna hit the U button to hide it, and then I see that here it's the effect has been pasted on my playhead time. So I move this around, and let's see what it does with this. And it's pretty nice, but the animation takes too long because there is a lot of text. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm gonna reduce
This is
the
really
preview
interesting.
area, and I'm gonna
This will make my life
put the
so much
end
easier.
of the previewing area by hitting the end button, and I'm gonna
I
go
could see like if you do this with a
and I'm gonna
mask,
go to
you
maybe
could just do like that staggered reveal and it looked like there was a bi
change
character.
based
You could
on
set
mode.
offset.
And here
Just
you
do like a
can see
large
that you have
offset.
several options, and I'm gonna hit the line button, and now let's see. Yeah, perfect. So the animation is doing the same thing
You could just need
except
to
that instead
spend more
of
time making
staggering between
presets. I didn't know you
letters,
could even
it's
do
gonna
presets
stagger between lines.
in After
So very
Effects.
easily you
I need to
can
figure
take
that
an
out.
animation
I've
and
also seen this
duplicate it
flow.
on different elements.
You guys use flow? It's great. There you go. Hmm. I have all my curve presets set up for certain things. Yeah, see, this is where I'm kind of novice, and so everything I do with, oh, that's kind of weird, dude. Oh, I gotta undo anchor point. Um, so that same guy, Matt, has always told me to do keyframe velocity. You want to get like mathematically exact um, easing curves. I guess like that's kind of what Flow would do, is it would give you like the same exact options to go with. This is more like I guess an abstract way of doing it, but this is like just by doing this, because I used to try and like chase down things and have like the animation curves line up, and I always had like a little bit of wobble and everything. But if you um, if you use keyframe velocity, I found it super helpful. But yeah, again, it seems like Flow would just like handle that entirely. Yeah, so I'm in a weird spot with this. It made sense at one point. What if I lock position here? I just move the anchor point to the bottom. What's the math on that? 339. That's 20. That would be minus plus 20. Yeah. So now I have the keyframe. The position stays the same while the anchor point moves. So then what I can do now is just do the same sort of the scale. I can just reverse it. So then it'll do like an up and down. And what I was hoping to do was just have, do you guys, can you do a mask with a fill? Because basically I want to have like the inverted text always shown. It's masked by this rectangle, but I don't want it over the text, obviously. And I could fade it in and try and time it, but, or I could duplicate the layer and have like one mask. I mean, maybe that's the easiest way. But it feels like you should be able to have a fill. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. But what I can do now, I mean, maybe I'm doing this preemptively. Lottie's also been great to use. Yeah, see, that's another thing I gotta learn. Webflow has a whole like Lottie integration that I just not even touched. And I've been using their native um, interactions module, which is great, but I think I could do so much more if I use Lottie. I didn't know about some of the plugins, but when I took the motion course by Louis Ansa, my words, I learned some really nice tricks. I already know how to use AE, but he had some really nice time savers and good tricks. Yeah, the people like him who just are like damn near masters on like they learn all this workflow optimization and just little things that like they probably don't even think about, but it's like damn, like just incorporating that stuff just by doing things slightly differently can be a lifesaver. You can add a fill to a mask if you add the fill to layer effect. That makes sense. Like an alpha matte. Nope. Alpha matte. Add. Oh, it would be layer effects. Or is it color overlay? Let's see if red works. Oh, red's doing it to the weird. Or is there a fill layer effects instead of color overlay? Or maybe it's this fill. I think it's called layer fill. Below, okay. You're completely wrong. It's just me guessing. Hey, your guess is better than mine, man. This is like not stuff that I've messed around with. That's why there's so much stuff in here. So it's mean, layer styles, blend mode won't do anything. Let's see. Yeah. I don't think track mats are broken. The Luis Paquette course. What does he do for the awards course? Oh, I've been here. Guy's another savage. Does a lot of great work. Damn, these are all his projects. This Velvy site was rad. Remember that at the time. Same with this. Oh, he's a locomotive? He's still a locomotive? Yeah, this site was just like, it was ahead of its time. I don't think it's, I don't know, I looked at it for a while. But in terms of just like a simple, I mean, simple but not simple, that scroll effect's pretty rad. I don't know, it's got so much character. It uses motion really smartly. And it's got that kind of like organic feel to it with like the overlaps happening in kind of random but not random places. Yeah, that scrolls effect's such a trip. So nice. Seen it in a few instrument decks. Yeah. I mean, it's a solid um solid ecom. I wonder how it performs though. It's not like it's that weird where it's gonna like off put your kind of casual user, but there's gotta be a way to do this. Blending options. Hmm. Got an ecom I worked on a while ago recently got pushed live and I hate it. Could have been really nice. Don't worry, man. We've all been there. I've got some real turds out there. Um, good God. Sometimes they just get away from you. And there's some that like start out with so much promise and you're like, oh, super excited, and then it just like, nope, nope. Things go sideways sometimes, man. I've worked on an e-com site since leaving Toy Fight years ago. Oh, trying to piece together. I feel like, thinking out loud. So many nice sites appearing now. Yeah, there are. I mean, there's a lot of really talented people out there. Steven, yeah, so that's what I was trying to do the math. I was like, I think I know. I was like, it left a couple years ago. Because Toy Fight's not, I don't know what their head count is these days. I know back in the day it was just Johnny and Lee, and it grew, and then I saw a couple people came, a couple people left. Um, Luis Henrique Bizarro. That guy's crazy. He does some wild stuff, and I follow him on Twitter. Um, Very opinionated individual, but yeah, I like that. I can respect that. But he does some great work, and he worked with what's his name? My boy Anthony Goodwin, Design Embraced. I think Kieran left, but I think right now there's 5, 6 designers in total, plus a few devs. The devs are great. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talent around there. I mean, I've worked with Johnny several times. He helped out with some projects when I was at Basic. Um, yeah, he's a savage. Oh, I think he was on Under Armour too. I was, yeah, I bit the bullet and helped Basic out and moved to the Bay Area, and I was on site at Google for a little bit until they found someone for that role. So I missed out on the opportunity to work on that project. It's definitely kind of bummed. I'm gonna go ahead and just duplicate this and just, you know what, if there's a better way to do this, I'll be happy to find it and use it in the future, but it's not right now. Oh, was it Chris Wilcox? Is that his name? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Not post. You guys are cooking up some sides? I don't want alpha mat on this. Oh, I do want it on this. What? Why is this? Why are they both showing? I feel bad. I'm just like struggle busing with this shit right now. I'm sorry if this is obnoxious. I don't blame you if you feel like it is. Um, I'm just really confused. Whatever. Should be alpha matting to this, but it's not really masking it because it shows up right there. But the bounding box is still up here. That's strange. Let's see. Let me get caught up here. Um, you made this kind of UI. Do you have a mood board? I want to do a 3D website. I have a mood board. Not really for this one. Um, it just started like with the automotive lens, and I kind of just picked up. Where is it? On here. So it was meant to be a collaboration. It was meant to kind of reflect my personal style. That's what I was brought on initially to do. So I kind of have my look. I kind of know what I want to lean towards. But I mean, this is really all my inspiration here in terms of like just different metrics like old tack gauges, modern gauges, lap times, lap position, like accelerometers, G-force meters. So it's all like metrics and data is kind of what I leverage for this. Um, and then it was just like a struggle slash fun somewhere in the middle exploration of figuring out all these different states. I mean, this has been like a month in the making, all these different states, but it finally makes sense, I think. Warm and fuzzy. Yeah, there's so many shops popping up in LA. It's crazy. Almost joined Phantom. I heard it. I really need to get out more. Well, this is wild. There's like that soft, almost like I love doing it with my stuff, just putting like a 1 pixel blur to give it that like, I don't know, almost like camera lens softness. This is pretty savage. These effects are crazy. Yeah, the Phantom character. Yeah, this is wild. I love it. Like, just it's the layout is pretty straightforward, but just I don't know. Bring some feels. Get weird. I don't know. Layout doesn't have to be all that crazy. You can always lean on dev a little bit more. All these creative techs now. Oh, that's fucking rad. Phantom guide. I like the thought of this. Feels like they could have done like they pushed everything else so much and then like it's so diminutive. These assets are rad. Oh, new one coming soon. Nice. I mean, it's really solid. Love the weirdness of it. Gets my vote. Okay, so that's showing it. It's not even masking it. Alpha matte. I'm so confused. It's all right. Can't win them all. Then these are going to have to be super quick. screwed this up. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna take a break from this piece of it. I've got other fish to fry. One thing I do want to do is get this timer working. I know there's an expression, After Effects, expression, timer. I want a countdown timer. Uh, feel weird lifting stuff from there. Lock presets. I think it's really easy to do, isn't it? Stuff in timer. I want a fucking countdown. I'll run time. Oh, runtime is a function, so it's gonna come back with all sorts of weird stuff. You can set whatever number using the slider. Which are you referring to? Easy tutorial.
Patrick Foy here with Learn in 5, where you can learn After Effects tutorials in about 5 minutes or less. And in classic fashion, I'm going to jump right in because that is staying true to After Effects, or you're going to make it count itself. You can go whatever, 1920 by 1080 to effects. So we want to come over here to Source Tech, correct this. Open up your slider control, drag it to the slider. So what that's going to do is take this pick whip from going to correct up. Okay, this may look a little confusing. But worry not, because we are going to correct this. Open up your slider control, take this pick whip from your source text, and drag it to the slider. So what that's going to do is start moving stuff around. Oh my god, it's counting. Look at that. That's crazy. It's awesome.
Sorry.
Actually, it's not done yet. Because see, what's going to happen
Yeah,
if we
I get what
don't
you're saying about the
round
slider.
it's going to do a bunch of decimal points. It goes freaking crazy and loses its mind. So we're going to make sure that this doesn't do that. Go ahead and type in here expression at the very beginning, math.round, open parentheses, close parentheses. Bam. Now, we can go ahead.
I'll have to add the slider control.
So
That's
that
why.
is 0, go to 4. Oh, I didn't. See, don't make that mistake that I just made. I did not actually put a keyframe right here. There we go.
Let's see. Effects, slider control. Empty text layer. What the fuck happened? Weird. I'm just gonna try and do these run clocks, and then I'm just gonna have the different sector times. I don't know. It's gonna be. I got some fun with it. I feel like. I'm tired of doing like all the procedural shit. I think I'm boring everyone here doing that. If I can get this set up a little bit. 2 times in one day? Yeah. Putting some serious hours in the chair. Oh man. If you're the amount of time spent in this chair not on stream is probably about 5x what's actually on stream. It's bad. I always am working. Problem is, a lot of it's just like shit I probably shouldn't do on a stream. What can you do? Pick whip. Slider control? Oh, the slider. I believe that's all he did.
Oh, I didn't see. Bam. Dot mine. So what that's gonna do is start moving stuff around. Oh my God, it's counting. Look at that. That's crazy. That's awesome.
Yep, there we go.
Actually, it's not done yet because see, what's gonna happen is if we don't round it, it's gonna do a bunch of decimal points. It goes freaking crazy and loses its mind. So we're going to make sure that this doesn't do that. Go ahead and type in here expression the very beginning, math.round, open parentheses, close parentheses. Bam. Now we can go ahead and animate this. We'll set it at 0. Go to 4. Oh, I didn't see. Don't make that mistake that I just made. I did not actually put a keyframe right here. There we go. Simple as that. That's how you do it. Basically, all I did that was different in the initial one that you saw was just put a little drop shadow on there, which is
still
I like
expression.
just because
Oh, okay, that's just
and
reminder.
you should like to use them too. So
I guess I'm not really doing any sort of. What is this about? Math is not referenced. Okay. I'm just gonna go ahead and dump that. So I can, where's the slider? Oh, you can't do, oh, you can't add 0, 0 to the format. That's okay, I can just run a loop and do each of these individually. So I can do like a 10s, 100th of a second and just have them run. It's gonna be kind of obnoxious, but I can always just have like timer loops going. So this will be, set this at 0. Oh, 1 second. Oh, shit. 9. Yeah, there's that math round. I don't understand what. Maybe I didn't capitalize it at first. I don't know. It's inspiring. I feel motivated to work on side projects. Hey, I mean, I'll probably be here this weekend. I think, yeah. I just need to get this thing done. I've got other shit I want to do. little like personal branding project. I don't know if I kind of want to live stream it. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what's going to be next. It's not going to be this fucking thing. It's not going to be the photo site for a while. Yeah. So I think this will be 10th of a second. Um, the position. Oof. That's basically just like the reset. Can I copy? Yep. Kind of working. No, DJ Johnny Dub over here makes me want to show the world my adventures on the struggle bus. Dude, telling you, man. Hop on. Struggle bus. I mean, it's here full time. It's just whether or not, broadcasting it out. Jump. Yeah, get on the struggle bus, dude. Branding is something I'm super interested in. Yeah, I had like a it was like a branding agency reach out and ask if I'd done any branding. Had to say no, unfortunately. Like a lot of it, like art direction kind of starts flirting with branding in some aspects, like some root, like they're like, oh, we want to redo our website, then you give us an inch and we'll take a mile, and it's like suddenly we're redoing their fonts and we're doing all this stuff, like everything just short of a logo. Sometimes it turns into a logo and it kind of turns into a rebrand. Sometimes you get to just rethink a brand from like from a brand point of like there's like a brand strategy in place, you execute against the brand, and then you execute the activation of it in the web. But that's the kind of ideal situation where you can just kind of tear everything down and think about it strategically versus kind of like trying to put lipstick on a pig and then it turns into a new brand, and it usually turns out okay, but it's never like, I don't know, could always be better. I feel like it's a pretty important part of web design. Yeah, it is. Like that's, yeah, kind of like the whole art direction thing it flirts with branding, but it just stops short of being it. Like I don't know. And like the guy I was talking to was like he likes my web work and he'd feel comfortable like letting me try out branding, and I think I'd be fine with it. I just like the last time I've done like brand books or anything close to that. Fuck, that was back in college. Doing like brand identity systems and then doing all of like the brand books, thinking through all the applications of it. It's fun. It's like a different challenge. Like if you're just used to like, or for me being used to just web work forever, like you just get siloed in it and it's just, I don't know, easy to kind of get like to forget um like there's a whole bigger world of design. Fuck. Copy both. yeah, I don't know if if branding would be something be interesting to explore on here, because I'm always looking for feedback on what to do on here. I have no idea what I'm doing. It's kind of a fake. A lot of sites seem to miss the whole branding thing, lack of art direction, really. Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's been some projects where we've had the luxury of it's like art directing content. Um, so then the web kind of pairs with it nicely, or sometimes, I mean, where it starts showing is like when you have like the segmented approach where it's like, okay, we're gonna go hire like a niche digital agency. They're gonna do the digital part of our brand. Then we're gonna hire this other studio to do like the content creation, and this one's gonna work on like some of them even just have like a specific like branding agency working on the branding, and there's all this like fragmentation of it. And I think for me, like getting the branding part down is kind of a big opening in my skill set right now. Because if I want to, like, the part of the reason why I also got in development was I could, in theory, do everything for a brand. And like, I have branding experience, but like, again, that's one of the big gaps I want to identify or like work on. But then I could work through the content of it. And then I could do like photos, videos. I could do the web design activation of it. I could do um, most everything, design, development, all like the other stuff, like more traditional branding stuff seems obvious, but just like actually developing a brand. Because everything I've done for my own personal branding, I get dumb with it, for better lack of a better word. Like the Delta thing, it's like too clever for its own good. No one knows what the fuck it is. The no ISO, no one knows how to say it. They don't know how to pronounce it. So how do I do something that's a bit more like ubiquitous, and actually grounded in reality and not just this make believe thing? So good challenge. Maybe I'll struggle. That'll be a real struggle bus stream. Don't you find that everyone seems to have a misunderstanding of what branding versus brand identity actually is? Probably. Probably. Yeah, I think there's a lot of misunderstanding in the design world these days. Is there a way to loop? Turn this AC on again. Holy shit. Can't loop a clip? Guess this one. No. Because yeah, Sal, to your point, I mean, the whole concept of a brand and all the different touch points and um, what all branding is, like it can be kind of abstract in some ways. Audio and After Effects. I guess I could just duplicate it. That seems really silly. If I split it, I know it's not going to be mathematically perfect. I don't really care badly. I can get these on every like second. This is regrettable. Maybe that'll be a little bit better. This would be 100. Or I can just copy and paste this forever. Again, probably not the most advisable approach, but it's what I'm going to do for now. It's not even going full seconds. This is bad. Look the other way for a minute. Should get me through. Oh, maybe one more. That should be long enough. Do one more. This one should be pretty easy. 9. Zero. It works. Ooh. Oh. Hmm. Oh, yeah, of course. If I just stick a keyframe right before it, I think that'll do it. That's 9. Oh, this has to be stupid. Being really dumb. Yeah. So I totally agree. I mean, branding, yeah, it comes down to a lot of like unmeasurable things, like brand experiences, um, like brand partnerships, um, creating like a perception of a brand. And yeah, that far extends beyond um, like any sort of design collateral or logo or any, I mean, it factors into it in some component, in some degree, but bitch. Um, sorry, I'm being really stupid. Why is this like going on the half second? It's rounding up with the math round. What, do I move this to here? What? Almost like this should be. You know what? I'm just making this really difficult on myself. Singular seconds. Oh, I can't. It's gotta be individual. Checking some stuff. What I was gonna say. Yeah, got a text from Mr. Strather who I was talking about earlier. Guy with all the crazy lagoon candles and all that stuff. Matt Austin's ratting me out, telling me all these things I'm saying about him. This will be one of those things I'm gonna figure out in time. I'm gonna go ahead and pre-compose timer, oh, lap timer. Uh-oh. Where's the center point? How's that where it goes? So negative 90. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it does. I should lock this. I'll turn this down because I'm gonna try and recreate this meta real fast. Well, not real fast. It's gonna be kind of slow. This is like the sector times. Well, I actually might leave those as images. And so the sector times are going to be like dividing it into thirds. There's 3 sectors per typical like F1 race. So that's what I'm using as a reference. Oh, and I gotta do this too. Yeah, there's so much. All this meta, it's making my life difficult. And now I'm at this point where it's just like I don't know which I want to work on more. They all seem to have their own problems. Like this sort of reveal. But I mean, it's gonna be really rewarding once I get this loader meta working properly. Even if this, like, it's just so small. Okay, I'm gonna fix this. Is driving me crazy. Um, like the indicator, not click indicator, roll position marker. See if we can get this synced up. It's good to there. It just, I think all I have to do is just remove this next move. Hmm. Two. Should be 6. Useful. Just become a digital brand director of web strategy. Yeah, good. I don't know. I just like doing everything. Did something get cut out? Why does this feel so slow? Oh, this is right. But yeah, like with the whole branding conversation, like it kind of stems for me into like identifying gaps in the skill set and just I'm I'm very proactive in becoming a jack of all trades and master of none. It's just kind of the path I've wanted to take. Oh, I have the animate out working. They're just slightly offset at this point. 60. And then this guy's to here. No. Oh, it's because they're moving. 60's moving. Hmm. I feel like I should put the anchor point at the top, do a scale. We're gonna need this move. Yeah, it moves kind of nice. But it's not synced with the click. Should be right here. Oops. Part of the other problem is I didn't ever really set the initial active state. So there's no shift from like what it's on before this slide. which should be 1. That is not in there. So that should be here, position. This is, yeah, this is the whole, like, anchor point moving. This is where it's really going to get dicey. I don't know of a better way to do it, is the problem. Do this here and just undo both of these. We're trying to do this as a proof of concept. Yeah, that's the so this was a collaboration that fell apart. And so it's just too specific to what's it called? Like automotive, where I think most times I'd be inclined to just let it die or like reuse it at some point. But I think it's, I don't know. I put a lot of hours in it and I don't want to just walk away with nothing. So I'm right now very confused by what just happened. So yeah, I'm just gonna try and make something work out of this. Actually, this is the initial state, so I don't need anything really. Just need this to hold. Yeah, this has no affiliation with Singer in any official capacity. It's just, I've always loved Singer and the work that they do. So I decided, why not? And then if it happens to fall in Singer's lap, or they see like I don't know what I've been up to, didn't seem like the worst thing. There we go. That kind of works. Still don't understand why it says 002 though. Oh, that's because I pushed escape again. Now I have the initial position. But the shift is a little late. Or early, excuse me. Should be at 2 seconds. Probably a little bit of a buffer. Yep. Yep, that's that piece. Yep, so I don't have the... Getting to 6 is still another thing. I'm almost thinking if I break them up into 2 pieces, so I have the in and the out, so I don't have to get into this stupid game of switching. Like moving the anchor point and then having to move position to offset it every time. And then knowing this is be instant or something that it's kind of all over the place. I think what would be nice is if I have a little overlap. So it almost feels like there's something like a transition. So they're both, actually, if I do them at the same exact time. It could kind of be nice showing like the full in like a middle state. A little early. You can see it like has like this, I see it's still a little early. But it has like the feeling of like it's just moving through the mask as like one unit. Pretty close. But I'm still having the same issue with the masking numbers. Like it's not, the alpha mat's not working at all. I'm a little confused by that. I do need to figure that out. So I don't know if I want to develop this any further until I can probably off stream just sit down and understand why I'm being stupid in this instance. Kind of used to this thing at this point. It's a regular occurrence where it's just like doing some pretty head scratch worthy stuff. No need to share that with you guys, so. And one thing, it might be easier. Yeah, I'm just thinking to myself, like, so I think there should be a difference between a hover state and an active state because you're still technically on 001. That's the background image. So this is purely just like a reference of what an expanded view basically of what the gallery is. So I think like these should kind of like one by one sequentially like increase in opacity. But then once you click, that's when it shifts off of the first one and into into like the sixth position. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. This should be here. This should stay here. That opacity shift needs to happen. I almost think it starts like that. Let's see. All these names are too short. Spots, yeah, so this is it. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and dump this. Do that. Make this 100, and then we'll do it the old-fashioned way. This is all like the hover, so this is 2. So this is the off-stream stuff I was doing. At this point, and so I have duplicate versions, so this is specifically for the view options video, so I don't have to worry about this fucking up other videos. It might momentarily, but I have a duplicate copy ahead of making any of these modifications. So one thing, probably just want to have these at 50%. May not do all of them as you can. But here, I'm gonna want And get rid of this as well. 2 and then 6. I gotta make sure that hovered on. So this is actually, the rules have sort of changed, so I need to adapt a little bit. 2 actually happens here. Two happens here, and then the move happens where? Here. 2, 3. 4. No, I've skipped one. 2, 4. Yeah, this is gonna be tight. Five. Something's not right there if the gap is that different. 6. And so that's the click transition to 6. There is going to be a little bit of a difference. T. Do 3 frames. 100. So this is going to hold here. No, I'm okay if there's overlap. It's like multiple are technically selected. There's just like a little bit of an offset. I didn't time frame reverse these, did I? I did. I don't know why I'm just not copying these. Five, 6. Yeah, I'm gonna get this right. Close. Not perfect. Nope, it's way off. Should be a little lag, but like that is not quite right. Three should be right here. Problem is like these almost can't keep up how fast it's going. 4 here. There's gonna be a lot of overlap. this is gonna move up somewhere. So I'm not even using those. That was kind of a dumb exercise, I guess. Six transition happens too soon, though. That hasn't even happened. I'm just seeing things. Six has to hold. Basically, six doesn't fade out because of the new. This guy's in here. I just don't know if it's obvious enough. So this needs to be position. This is gonna get weird just because of the anchor point. But let's try it. It does work. Maybe I'm worried about nothing. I don't know. But there's no hold. That long. Yep. Just gotta make sure the timing's right. That could be just about done. Well, the timing is not right. This click. I don't get why that's fading back out. That's kind of strange. Let me just let this ride through. There's no need to trim it early. Oh, so the scale wipe down is happening. That's why. Oh, I didn't catch that. Um, I wonder if I save this. This is like an old like version that I know works with like the anchor point shifting down, the position shifting, but basically I don't want that. Look, there you go. Yeah, works. Everything in order though? I'm just wondering like if all the states, I know I still have to get like the meta working on the left rail. I do want to have like a circular sort of like attention getter for the start the car. But I think it feels decent. Kind of works. I feel like I need to get out of this damn chair. Oh. Follow-up question for client dev. Do you create things like this or just still image comps with explanation? Really depends. I think without any sort of development, like this being a standalone thing, this has to be, I don't think I can do anything less than this. For devs, it all depends on their abilities and like, so if I'm working like with an Ari, um, he doesn't need any explanation. It's sort of like, here's the beginning, here's the end, and just give him like a quick, I'll do like a screen recording basically and just kind of draw like almost like football plays or something. It's like this goes here, this kind of fades in up, and then he'll just take that and run with it and kind of bridge the gap. So that's like best case scenario. I mean, there were some things like with the photo site I posted a little bit on where it's kind of complex and I wanted to make sure everything worked to the level I really and the way I really wanted it to. So I was a bit more prescriptive there. I think most developers, if you're working on something like this, um, I don't think I would go to this detail. I would probably just leave it with like gray boxes and show like, okay, you click, um, like, actually, I probably wouldn't even get into After Effects if I'm being entirely honest. Um, so let's say, like, if I just need to convey what's going on here, let's say, um, let's say I convert to bitmap, and then I'll just add like a blur of like a motion blur. And just show like the animating in state, like, so you click on this, this is what happens. And so just show like the transition frame and the final frame. And that usually can do it. Sometimes it's not quite enough. Um, it really depends on the developer at the end of the day, and clients too. Like clients, some of them really get it. They're more savvy, and you don't have to go into so much detail and kind of handhold through everything. But anything that's, I think for the average client to like, if I just sent them these boards and was like, here's what I'm thinking. What do you think? And then like showed them the final version. I don't think they wouldn't have made the correct deductions of like what I was trying to envision. So this is where like, yeah, client, like maybe even like a principal prototype. Again, I haven't done a ton of it. I've had other people help me out create the clickable ones, but for me, I'll just quickly do something that's kind of rough with just After Effects. And again, not getting into all like the nitty gritty of this shit of like, oh, does the counter work properly? Like that's not important as much as it is for something like this, where it's like concept of work that lives in a bubble and it has to do all the lifting. So yeah, really depends. Kind of have to just, in some instances, read the room, kind of see what people can understand. Where is, what am I looking for? Not that. Oh no. I'll close this for now. I think I can close this too. This guy's what I want. And also there's times where you may think that they'll get it, but you can kind of put a stake in the ground. Like there might be room for interpretation, and you really want to like commit to like, no, this is like there is an important distinction to be made. This is exactly how I feel it needs to work in order to work properly. Because sometimes, yeah, you leave it out. They might not get what they think they're gonna get, and um, yeah, there may be creative leeways to bend it into something that doesn't quite work properly. Um, so yeah, and that's like a broader strategy is not to have like a big reveal with clients. Like um, you don't want to like send them something that's over their head and then it's like this big reveal when it actually works and it's confusing. It's like, bringing them along and whatever that means for client, it's always going to be different. I'm aware I can give some pretty terrible explanations on it, so I apologize. Ooh, yeah, this needs a little rework. So the initial one is to 2. Yeah, quick. I mean, it's kind of like depends when you catch me on these questions. Sometimes my brain's a little fried, and at my best, you might be able to parse what I'm saying. It's bad. Like I hope people aren't like, damn, this guy's an idiot. Definitely shouldn't listen to him because sometimes like the way I talk things through, like my brain's, I'm like trying to talk, trying to work, and then sometimes I can do it well, but other times I just can't. Didn't work out that time. This position is way too fucking sassy. Let's just find out when the second there's a hold here, here. That's the hold. And then it moves again here. Something like 6. know, it doesn't look like it's moving, but just because all the lines are the same. There we go. Okay. I'm just checking the timing of everything. With the title and the number moving synchronously with the content. And click happens. See, that's a little early. This would be the gallery nav. Click. Oh. Yeah, works. This meta gonna be interesting. Where did my start button go? What are you doing? Oh, that's why. I think I moved that some sort of opacity. Yep. I think it makes for like a succinct video. I do like that I kind of moved everything out from one long clip. I just think the start button needs to fade out almost entirely. Right here's right. Bring it back. Like, am I the only one who doesn't like keyframing opacity? I just feel like I don't see the return on it. Not that hard to do. It's just one thing I'm not liking is like how hard of a stop this comes to. Needs more of a glide. So I'll probably just do. Oh, don't select anything. I'm gonna max that out. What if I increase the initial speed? Yeah, I think that works. All right. Oh, all right. High coffee's wearing off. 5 o'clock somewhere. Right here. Good time. Make sure. Okay. I'm gonna go with that. Pre-scroll. Next, click and drag is going to be a whole beast. Both of these are going to be hard because of the two nulls and animating scale and position from the same anchor point. I was talking about it in the first stream. This is a build load in. I need to get the info in there as well. It's all happening here. Um, This way, it's kind of like this. The singer logo animates off the top, start button animates in off the bottom, and the info kind of like all moving at once. I'm still debating whether or not to minimize this grid position. Like whether at default it condenses down into that kind of minimized state I had before. Not sure. Can actually find this up. This is getting too boring. Doing all the same shit. I mean, it's what I have to work on. I just have to get this done. I can't, in good faith, keep working on anything else. I guess people can always leave if it's too boring, but hopefully that's not the case. Does it make sense? Fishing. This just needs the active state, and I think it'll be making more sense. But I kind of like just everything sort of being reactive. I just don't know if I want the logo as like it's something that's on like a title card. Look at this. What's happening? Good. Nothing happening. It was a good side project to complete in a weekend. You're asking the wrong person. I always take forever. I mean, let's see if I can give you a better answer than that. That's kind of a cop-out answer. Um, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on the realm that you want to operate within. I mean, for me, I think a weekend project is, for me right now, it's like expanding out to different sections on my site. Um, like for me, it was kind of writing all the content, not really doing much design, a little bit of design, but for like the live streams page, writing a little content, doing a little development, looking through some things. Like I think this is, for me, this is my kind of weekend project of just like I want to expand things and just kind of check things off. I don't know if I really always attach deliverables. Um, so for better or for worse, I don't put deliverables on my projects. Like I used to try, and when I went freelance and I had all this fun employment time, I was like, all right, I'm gonna be like super structured. I'm gonna be my own project manager. I'm gonna like set these deadlines, and this is when this is gonna be done. That means that week I can do this. Like I still have it in my calendar of like plan out the week, and I just never do it because I got to a point where I get to the end of the week and um, I would be nowhere close to the goals that I wanted to hit. So it was just kind of this like really gutting feeling like every time I missed my deadlines, it's like, fuck, like let me go back into this project management tool and then just like push everything back out again. And that just kind of got old after a while. And I just felt defeated at the end of it. It was a lot of work to maintain the schedule that was just never being hit. And then I just felt like shit because I wasn't hitting any of my deadlines. So um, for me, like I don't put deadlines on things anymore. And that I mean, you could point to my site and it's taken me a year or two and way too many hours. So maybe I could use some more guardrails, but um, I'll just kind of have like an objective of like things I want to learn on a weekend. Whether that materializes into anything concrete, I don't know. Um, there are things that's like it's all like if I have something set for a weekend, it's always like a very reachable goal within half that time. It's like I'm gonna do like a new wallpaper pack or something. That is something. It's just a matter of cropping existing images, exporting them, uploading them onto the site, writing a little blurb about it. That's achievable. When it gets into more like the creative realm, where it's like, all right, I want to come up with like, I want to practice some sort of branding thing, and I want to have like this new brand developed by the end of this weekend. Like, to me, I'm setting myself up for disappointment. Um, it could work out, but I'll just know that I want to work on it. So I just carve out time of either towards an objective or towards like learning something. Those are the two things. And that's kind of how I evaluate my time of whether it's success or not, whether I worked on that thing or whether I made steps towards learning something else. Um, and I realize like that's kind of banking on a luxury of time where I have the ability to kind of burn a lot of time on these projects. So again, like you kind of have to take that with a grain of salt. Like that's where I'm at with my personal work is I've entirely let go of deadlines. So um, yeah, like a couple weekends ago, I carved out. I guess a couple months ago now. I was like, I just want to learn the fundamentals of Blender, and that's what I did. I had no expectation of being able to render out. Like I modeled a display and put some lighting on it all in one day, and I was like, shit, I was not expecting that. Or there's other things like learning, um, or I don't know, even trying to do like, I mean, I've showed some of like the death rolls I get in when it comes to project pages on my own website. It's just like that took weeks. I thought it was going to be a day or two. So that's my answer, sadly. Um, so yeah, I can't carve something out for a weekend unless it's like really, really easy. Otherwise, I'm always plotting long. Is there a type of project you haven't worked on that you would love to do or have worked on and would love to do again? For me, I got to design a restaurant once. Everything top to bottom, brand identity, materials used in the restaurant, the ingredients, everything. It was a ton of work, an incredible challenge. I think something like something that's more holistic. Um, yeah, because like I mean, I understand it. Like you work at an agency, they want to optimize people. Like not everyone's good at everything, and so and my experience in the professional world was almost entirely interactive, and I liked it, and so I got the work I wanted to do, and they got me just as like optimized for for the project at hand, and so I never really got the chance to branch out. It was like if we got into more like retail spaces, there was someone who worked on interior spaces, um, and so for me, yeah, I think that would be something that's rad is like helping to develop a brand and all the touch points that it entails. Like that was kind of my goal of going independent and kind of rounding out my skill sets was like I could be all things to small, medium-sized businesses who need to develop the brand, help develop the product. Not as much product design. I don't really know a ton about that, or how much relevance. I mean, the product, if it's like anything tech related, like it's over my head. Um, but yeah, just owning it end to end and something that with like a little more permanence than like interactive design. I think I know I had a hard time. Is like you pour your heart and soul into something, and then in a year it's gone. So it's like in a year it's gone, and in like in the form that it usually takes, it's not what you'd like it to be. So it's this really unsatisfying feeling of like, especially in an agency, like unless you have a long-standing relationship with the client, like your that entire project is you're trying to like earn people's trust that you should be listened to, and that doesn't always come through. Um, so it's tough. Um, so that would be one for sure. Um, yeah, and just in talking to that agency not too long ago, just like realizing the gap in branding, I think is probably traditional branding would be cool. Um, and like if that gets into like interior design and materials, like I have zero experience there, but I'd fucking love to. Like what you did with the restaurant, that's like the branding. Like as you're talking about before, like the materials, the like everything, like that's all part of the branding. But I just never get the chance to work on it. So kind of jealous, man. I'm also pretty impatient, so I want to make something as fast as I can. That's why I never did art, drawing, painting, or never pursued it. Need the undo button. It's all good, man. I mean, I'm up here making verbal typos all day, so don't you worry. Yeah, I'm fairly impatient too. I mean, you can kind of watch me just like churn, squirm as I'm like some of these things I just like, ah, fuck, I don't get it. I'm just gonna like move on. Part of that's just like having people watch my discomfort or just me showing my process, and that's kind of something I even quietly by myself I get like really frustrated and like ah fuck, I need to figure this out like really quickly. Um, so yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like that's where maybe you give it a shot, and if it doesn't click, come back to it. Um, find something else. I'm like I'm a firm believer of like always moving forward, and whether that is like as big of a movement as you thought and working on like as large like a macro of a scale, like if you can't get there just start like chipping away at like micro things. um like on this project itself, I was always like, I got so just like fed up with some of these interactions and figuring out the details that I finally just said, fuck it. Like, I'm just going to come down here and start branding the different builds. That's making progress. It's not what I ultimately wanted to do. It's getting me closer to that end goal, but it's not the main thing. Um, so, yeah, I have the same issue with my impatience. I'm kind of learning to funnel it in different directions so I can still feel like I'm productive, even if I'm not really doing what I should be doing sometimes, if that makes sense. Um, there was something I was trying to figure out. Oh, I want to do this little guy. I mean, what was that equipment? Top nav build detail. Oh, why is that so big? Advanced. This be. It's probably gonna fuck up my position, but that's all right. 180. Hmm. Position. That's not good. Oh. Hey. What the heck? Oh, 90. Yeah, that's half. That's why. Oops. Okay. Let's see if I can make this quickly. No fill. Stroke. White if I do exclusion. Opacity 50. And effects. Radial white. Okay. Oh. Radial white. You want to feather this a lot. Hmm. Wipe center. Wonder if I don't think that does anything that I'm looking for. Kind of limited options. Um, what I can do if I just want to do this kind of cheaply. Then I just have a simple I have to overlap it just a little bit. Yeah, a little bit of a jump. Kind of weird. Not the greatest. Now I can pre-comp this. Start. Start it. That's. I need to redo the exclusion. What if I turn this off? Info. Yep. Because I don't need exclusion on the inside. I don't think it needs to be this heavy. 50. Just like a subtle attention getter. Oh, 3.5 hours. It's already 5:30. I might jump off here and yeah, I think I'm gonna do some of the like low level stuff. Um, just recreating some of the pieces from the JPEGs that I'll animate. I think doing that off stream probably gonna be a little bit better. So how much you guys want to watch of that? I think Friday afternoon is probably gonna be pretty quiet around here anyways. So I'll probably be back. I'll definitely be back tomorrow. Probably midday PST. So yeah, it's a good like 5.5, 6 hours today. So hopefully it wasn't a total wash for you guys. Yeah, I think it's coming together. I think the gallery hover, the gallery nav hover is pretty close. Like some of the meta, I think I'll want to sort out. If I end up condensing the left navigation, I'll just have to do that first initial move out, um, and then carrying that active state over to some of um, the other views as well. That's something that's out there. Oh, and the singer, that's good. The singer logos. What should be? Should be 0. Perfect. So, all right. Yeah, thank you to everyone. Great questions as always. Appreciate you guys coming through and supporting. So, yeah, really awesome. And I will see you guys tomorrow.